Many college students forget about the exciting offerings of university programs when spring break rolls around. They quickly think about costly hotels and warm, crowded beaches, but UNI Outdoors has a lot to offer this spring break.
Well, we're running two trips. The first one's going to be out west to Utah. They're going to Grand Escalante and Escalante and Grand Staircase, and they're going to spend a week in a mix of canyoneering and backpacking. And then I'm on a trip to southern Georgia. We're going to go to the Okefenokee National Wildlife Swamp. We're going to spend 3 days canoeing in a swamp. Then we're going to spend 3 days on a remote island called Cumberland Island National Park. It's just right on the coast. It's beautiful. You arrive on ferry and it's a completely cut off remote island. And right when you get there, there's old growth trees and Spanish moss hung in all of the trees. And the island is inhabited by wild boar, wild horses, tons of wildlife, tons of birds. And it's right along the shoreline, right there on the ocean. We get to hike through parts of the forest, but then we also come out and we're on the ocean.
UNI Outdoors does it all, from covering scheduling, transportation, and reservations. The only thing you adventurous people have to take care of is the money.
Well, the biggest commitment is going to be the monetary commitment for any of the trips, because some of them can get a little pricey. But if you look at it as going through an outfitter doing this on your own, we're much cheaper than that, because we provide all the boats, we provide PFDs, paddles, dry bags, all of the cooking, all of the camping gear, everything you need to go with the exception of your personal food and your personal clothing.
UNI Outdoors charges $500 for the week-long trip. They provide everything you would need for experiencing a swamp filled with alligators and other interesting wildlife, and hiking along the Georgia coastline and falling asleep to the sound of waves.
$500 covers all of the advanced permitting we have to do to guarantee our locations, covers the ferry ride, all of the equipment rental, and all of the transportation that goes along with it. So for the backpacking portion, we're actually providing sleeping bag, ground pad, tent, and backpack, all of the cookware, and all of the stoves. And then for the canoeing portion, we're providing all the boats, PFDs, paddles, and all of the dry equipment.
South Padre Island and similar beaches are a popular spring break getaway for college students, but UNI Outdoors can put many of those trips to shame with all of the good times you can have.
As an undergrad, I did those trips, and they're fun. But I think I've had, in all honesty, more fun through UNI Outdoors on a major trip. It's memorable in that you can remember it compared to South Padre Island, which is fun. I've been to South Padre. It's sweet. But what you don't get is you don't get that group element. You don't get that element of relaxation, that element of nature while you're down there. And for that, I'd say it's much more worth it to go on one of our trips, because it is an actual getaway and it is relaxing. And even though they can be strenuous at times, you come back feeling actually better than when you left, and you have stories that you can tell your parents.
All Iowans have seen cows, but last year UNI Outdoors gave students a chance to see a kind of cow many haven't seen before, a sea cow.
They're big, and they're not very graceful, and they're not very fast, and they're pretty ugly, but they're super cool. It's like a giant underwater cow, and the Santa Fe River is a breeding ground. It lets out into the Gulf and into the ocean, and the manatees will actually swim up into the river as a safe place, and they'll have their offspring.
For more information about UNI Outdoors and upcoming trips, visit their UNI website listed, look up UNI Outdoors on Facebook, or visit them in room 174 of the WRC. Unique creatures that Iowans have never seen before await you at UNI Outdoors.